I am a huge fan of Lifx bulbs and Lifx Z strips. Next piece I'm adding is the Lifx beam. Let's get it open and take a look. Hello tech friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Craig. I make tech videos on smart devices, Apple products, and cool tech. If that sounds good to you, then you are in the right place. Links to anything I talk about will be in the description. Let's get started. A couple months ago, I did a review on the new Lifx mini color bulbs. There are links for that video and the bulbs in the description if you want to check them out. I was so impressed with these bulbs while making the video, I bought a 4-pack for the rest of this space. I really wanted to put some Lifx C strips for some LED lighting behind my desk. I also wanted to try out the Lifx beam kit for some accent lighting. So I reached out to Lifx and they were kind enough to send me the Z strips and this beam kit to check out. So thank you for Lifx for sponsoring this video. You can see the Z strips in action behind me, and you can check out that video along with links to the lights in the description too. Now let's talk about this beam kit. The Lifx beam kit is an accent light that you can use to paint a room with light and color to create different moods. You can use this as lighting to highlight around a window, a piece of art, around furniture, your TV, and more. Or you can use them as its own lighting feature. In my case, I'm going to use it as a lighting feature on my wall behind me. This beam kit is $149.99. In the box, you get some paperwork with directions on how to prep your surface and set these up. You get 6 of the light bars. These are 11.8 inches by 1.37 inches tall. So here's all 6 of those pieces in the box. You get the corner piece that you'll connect up using magnets, which is cool. These do all connect together with magnets, which I do really like the idea of that. But you have 3 options of where you want to connect these pieces to create a pattern that you may like. You get some paperwork here, and this has the code on the back so that you can get this set up with HomeKit. This is your cable to power them up, and that is the connector that you'll use to attach to the end of your strips. This other end will plug into your power supply, and then some double tape on the back. Now let's set all this stuff aside. So here's your plug, and they set this up so that they could sell the different connections for different countries. Now let's take a look at the strips. The pieces connect together using magnets, and power will pass through at the connector once they're magnetized and joined together. Let's get this opened up and we'll take a look. On the back you have 3M command strips, and what's nice is these are Velcro pieces. Let's say you stuck the tape already to the wall and you needed to make some adjustments. You do have a little bit of flexibility with this being Velcro and being able to pull it off and adjust as needed. 3M tape is great because you can always remove this, go buy some more pieces of tape if you wanted to ship this somewhere else. Each of these pieces on the Lifx beam has red, green, blue, and white LEDs. With those colors, the beam and other Lifx bulbs can mix over 16 million different colors and whites. Each piece has 10 individual zones in it. With that many zones, you can create some really nice gradients and blending of color. It doesn't look blocky, it just blends nice and even. With the app, you can have different colors in each zone. You can also access themes in the app that blend different colors together and create some interesting looks. The Lifx beam is dimmable from 1 to 100%, and the whole beam with all 6 pieces uses about 27 watts of power. The great thing about the Lifx beam is that there are no hubs needed for this. This connects with Wi-Fi using this piece right in here. So connect it directly to your router. You mount them, download the app, discover the beam, and add it to your network. They're super easy to use. You can then control them from the Lifx app, Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, and Apple HomeKit. I just set mine off behind me. Before I mount these, I want to get them set up and show them to you. You will need to have the Lifx app installed already. Now let's attach 2 of these together. It is magnetized. You hear the click and it snaps right together. Let's say I want to put a corner piece on here. I can just add the corner piece since it's all magnetized. Now I'm going to lay this out on my table so that I get the pattern that I'm looking for ahead of time before I power this up, and then I'll just move the pieces individually over to the wall where I'm mounting them. If you try to put a piece on in a direction it doesn't go, the magnets won't pull it together, they'll actually repel each other. So it's really easy to tell the direction that a piece needs to go. For my design, I'm going to do 4 wide and 2 up. There's all the pieces joined together. It doesn't even fit in the shot all the way. I didn't see anywhere specific where it said you can connect this up. I did try it. It won't connect up at the corner. And also note, you can do a total of 8 pieces and 2 corners on one of these power supplies here. So it looks like I need to put this at one of the ends. So let's try the end. Snapped right at that end over there. Let's plug it in and take a look. And it ran through, the light just went through. It's now on in white. It's set in the directions to push the button on the little hub for 1 second. Now let's open up the app and find this light. So launch the app, go to the plus sign in the upper right hand corner, connect a light. I'm gonna set this up using Lifx and HomeKit setup. You will need to have this book that has the HomeKit code on the back. So hit Lifx and HomeKit. It gets started. It's now searching for lights. It found the Lifx beam. We'll connect that. It's going in the home. Allow it to access the network. Did a little pulse through of intensity there. Looks like it's finding it. Next step, it's looking for the HomeKit code that you can get off the back. It's now using that unique code to identify the light with HomeKit. It's an interesting process that Apple put in place to make things HomeKit certified. Accessories been added. Setup location, my home will be in the office. We'll call it office beam. And I'm done. Now I should be able to just roll through colors. Here we go, rolling through some of the different whites. Now let's look at some of the solid colors. Wow, this thing is pretty bright. We'll take a look at the scenes in a little bit and more of the settings, but first let's get these mounted up and we'll see what they look like on the wall, and then we'll step through some of that other stuff. Here we go, they're up, powered up, and it was relatively easy to do. It took about 10 minutes. To mount them, I did measure off where I wanted them to go with the tape measure. That way I did know where to start. And I did use a level to make sure each piece was level before securing it. Then you remove the backing of the tape, press it firmly on. You just want to hold it for about 30 seconds so that each piece stays. Then you run the cord. Right now the cord is ran off the end, powered it up, made sure it worked. One of the things that is kind of weird is you do have to think about how you're going to manage your cord. And what I did was I tucked the cord underneath here, and then I used really small nails and nailed it in underneath so that it held the cord in place. And one of the tricks that I use, that I've been using a lot for cabling around here, in order to run the cables neatly, I like to use hot glue. So behind the monitor, I hot glued it down tight, and if I lean over, you can barely see the cord right there. I might paint over it, you won't notice it at all, but it's all set up and ready to go. Now let's take a look at using them. I'll go into the app, and these are called the Office Beam. If we look at them right now, what you're seeing is at 14%. Here is the intensity. I could take them up and see how bright these get. They do get super bright. I am impressed with the brightness of them, and I have to run them pretty low so that they don't overpower the shot. But leaving them up for now, let's just roll through some of the colors here. You can see actually the colors are blown out because it is so bright. So I'll take it back down. That's like 15% right now. And if I roll through, you can see the various colors that you can do with them. And I'm actually using a monitor over here so I can see what's behind me. If I swipe over in the app, I could play with the different whites. So if I want a very warm white, I can go with that. If I want a very cool blue, I can go with that. And then here's just various levels. This is considered neutral white, and you can see it's really, really bright. It's looking very blue around the edges because my wall is blue and it's picking that up. But even if I take them down to, that's 2% right now. Now let's look at the themes. This theme's called Love. Energize or exciting. This gives you various shades, and I put it in here because now you can run effects. You can animate this theme, you could cycle through colors, do flickering. I'm gonna just choose move, and move is just gonna run the colors through, and you can adjust the speed. So if I want, I can slow this down, so it's just a nice little subtle movement going through. And if I change this to something like, if I go back up to relaxing, it's going to go to green, and it's just going to run through there slowly. Let's make sure that's turn on the movement again. It's just going to run through that color theme. There's some interesting stuff you could do with it. Hold down the strobe, it does give you a warning, and a little bit of strobe action. They're kind of fun to play with. What is nice here is if you swipe over, you can actually pick your pattern that you want and implement some of these effects. So the fill is going to give you a solid color. So if I go to fill and then I touch the bar, it's all going to be green. But now if I go to, let's pick a different color. Let's just touch the bar and it's going to take it red. Now if I go through and I pick paint, I could grab a totally different color and I could touch different zones on there. And you'll see it starts to add those zones in that color pattern. So you can create different patterns. Let's say I want to add one more color into the mix. Let's put some green in there. I can add a little bit of green, and now add some green right there, and I could kind of paint whatever pattern I want. Now if I go in and I go to effects and choose move, it's just going to move that pattern around. Let's say I wanted to create a gradient. I could start with the dark blue and then I just work my way down so that it's a lighter blue and creates an interesting look. So let's grab the lighter blue next to it. I could select paint and we'll just do a chunk in that blue. And let's grab another lighter blue and we'll do some of it. We'll do that next to it. And I could keep working my way down. And now I've kind of created a little pattern here. And let me play with the intensity a little. You could start to see this pattern I've created from a darker blue. Maybe that's not enough there. Let's go back into create and go to paint. And maybe let's take this one here so it's a little more noticeable. Put a little lavender in there. Or maybe it works from there. So now if I go back and I dial it down, we start to see a little bit of change in there. Or maybe I want a red at this end. So it's a little more noticeable. I could add a red and it just works its way around. So you could create some interesting patterns. And if I wanted to save this, I can go up, hit plus, and create a new scene. Pick which lights I want involved, label it, hit save. Let's look at a few of the scenes that I made. Here's just a solid blue, my blue video look, my green streaming look, which if actually you're watching one of the streams, if you do a super chat and hit, it goes to red. So you can actually do the super chat and it'll make my lights turn to red. Lavender look, one that I liked for maybe live videos. It's a little more tamed down. Here's turquoise and magenta. Another version of it. What's kind of fun is you can grab all of these lights, go into effects, and do like a color cycle. You can get some fun stuff going. There's actually some options where you can have it sync up to music. That's some of the options right there. So for me, I have a video look. If I just want to work in here, here's something a little more subtle, just gives me a little extra white light in here. Really great. I love the options. If I'm watching TV or playing a game, I might get something that just has a little more mood to it that's fun. With 16 million colors, the possibilities are endless. I like this beam. I'm a lighting guy, so I like to play with lights and color. So this is great. I like the regular Lifx bulbs. I like the strips. I'm a big fan of Lifx. They're making really good smart LEDs that connect up easily with Wi-Fi to your system. You don't need any hubs with them. And they're easy to control. You can use, Google Home and Echo Apple HomeKit or just the app. I like the choices. You can make a lot of different stuff. I think you get a great product with some great colors. I do look forward to creating some more looks with all these Lifx lights. I do want to thank Lifx for sending these over and helping me improve my studio space. Please go check out some of the Lifx products. They've been kind enough to support this channel by sending these lights. It'd be great if you could show them some love in return. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. If you'd like to help support the channel, I have my Patreon link in the description. There are also Amazon affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.